reading from Paul to the Corinthians.
They got 2 more booses, twice as wide as the first one. Jane used her dad's tools to take the walls off the small bus to wilt one of the on the bus's wilt on the escape hatches. Cut off one bus's left door, the other's right door, wilt the booses together, and put stabilizers on the ground. Hey Internet!
What's up?
I'm Greg.
I'm Brian.
We're T-Minus Show! We're doing an album review today.
We are. Album review time for the nice people.
The nice people, one time for the people, one time for this and nice. What did you listen to today?
What would you tell you?
Oh my god. We can start this over. Help us all. What did you say?
We've been talking a lot about pop in 2015, haven't we?
Certainly have, Brian.
What would you think if I said disco in 2015?
I'd say you were out of your fucking mind.
Giorgio Moroder.
Whoa. Is it seriously disco?
Let me explain. He has a new album called Deja Vu, and it's excellent. Now, Giorgio Moroder, he is one of the pioneering producers in the 70s for the entire disco movement. He produced the majority of Donna Summer's records.
Cool.
And so, as far as disco actually sounded, like with the heavy orchestrations and the big arrangements and everything, that was all his doing. He came over from Europe to America to pioneer the sound of disco.
Cool.
He's 75. And he released an album with his stylings, his 70s disco stylings, on a modern pop record. With, dance and EDM, dare I say, influences.
Interesting.
With a lot of guest appearances. This album got terrible reviews, but I loved it.
Really?
It was so cool to hear a modernized house sound with his classic stylings.
That's crazy.
It's really excellent.
What's the name of the album?
It's called Deja Vu.
Deja Vu. Cool. Can you send me a link to that?
No. What are we listening to today?
An Estonian pop singer. Her name is Maria Minerva, and she's from Estonia. Damn.
She's a stone woman.
She's a stone man. She's a hypnagogic pop artist from Estonia, and on her Wikipedia page, it says that her 3 primary influences were Brian Eno, Throbbing Gristle, and Cabaret Voltaire.
Oh, God.
It's so nice. The album is called Cabaret Siku? I guess. Time to die. It's Chvrches time, everyone. Put your hands together. It's Chvrches time. We're reviewing the new Chvrches album, Every Open Eye. Chvrches is a Scottish electropop act. They're from Scotland, and they're an electropop act. And they're a band, and they had an album before this called Bones of What We Believe. They made some prominence in the pop scene, especially the indie pop scene, with some of their bigger singles, like most notably The Mother We Share. And they have a new album that came out recently, and what did you think of it?
It was wonderful.
It was an album.
It was a good album. It was excellent. I love the sounds on this, and they do the synth pop sound so well. Really, a very obviously analog synth, very thick sound. I mean, dense records, a dense sound. I thought they were Australian.
Oh, Scotland.
Okay.
We're gonna stomp the yard. What did you like about this album that was so good?
Well, I think she sounds great, the singer. She's great. I like how she emotes, but I like the lyrics also. Lyrics on this, how do I define them or describe them even? She has a very sassy delivery.
Damn.
But it's well executed, it's well emoted, and it's smart.
Can you extrapolate on the word sassy? Because I don't really understand what you mean by that.
I just like how she sounds. I think it has an attitude, but I think she has an attitude behind her in how she emotes. On some of the more up-tempo songs, whether it be Clearest Blue or maybe Bury It. Bury It, I go to for a lot of references on this album. I think it's a good example for most of what this album sounds like.
I feel you on that. I think that some of the things that they did that was the best things that they did is, as Brian noted earlier, it's very, very synth. Like, just everything's with the synths. It's all with the synths. It's all synth. It's synthed out. It's synthed the fuck out. Synth me up, Werbis. And I think that it's unapologetically synthy.
Oh,
you know what I mean? On some of the songs, like, the first song, which is Never Ending Circles. The synths are, and they're gonna take you away. The synths are coming to take you away, and they're so big, and it's a giant synth party. And definitely for me, the biggest thing that I like about this album are the synth textures. They really, because they use a variety of them. It's not just like they use one patch over and over. They're really there's a lot of them.
Yeah, excellent. And I mean, think of the synth qualities and the overall sound of early Depeche Mode records,
Sure.
even associate acts like Yaz or something like that. I mean, it's to a lesser extent, but still, I mean, it is unapologetically synthy.
Unapologetically synthy. Yes.
And it's very big. It's an overwhelming sound. It's a very big sound, but it's supposed to be, and it sounds great. And now here's the thing. I was scared going into this album because I had heard them before and I know what they sound like and I understand the sound, but I was afraid it was going to be too much of one thing and it was going to get boring.
Okay.
It didn't get boring because the songs and of course the order of the track list helps, but they're so unique on their own. A lot of the songs are unique as individual songs that when you listen to the album entirely, there's a good forward movement and you don't feel stagnated at all.
Do you want to talk about High Enough to Carry You Over?
I do, yeah.
You have more feelings about that than I do.
Mm-hmm. She doesn't sing on it. There's a guy.
Man?
There's a man.
It's a nice man. Who's the dude who sings on that?
Ben Spenny.
Penn and his Ben Spenny?
Spenny? What's his name? I'm sorry.
I do not know.
His name is Ben Spenny?
It's not the girl. And when I heard him start to sing, I thought, this is pretty cool. And I like the hooks in that song, too. High Enough to Carry You Over is a good song. I thought she was going to commit at some point to maybe do like the second verse or maybe just do some background, but it doesn't. And so for the lyrical story of the song, as a concept, it's not fully delivered. I don't think that it could have been better delivered and more effectively delivered had she done some singing or had contributed vocally. Interesting decision. I'm not saying it's good one way or the other or bad, but interesting decision.
It reminded me of like, this is going to be a really weird comparison. It reminded me of like on the early like Jimi Hendrix records when like Mitch Mitchell would sing or something like that, you know? It just like totally threw it off. Like it's not Jimi Hendrix, it's another man.
So what do you think about that song then?
I didn't really care about it that much.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't dislike it, but it was, some of the songs on this album, to me, lacked in the hook area a little bit. Some of them were completely on point, you know, Never Ending Circles and Clearest Blue being some of them, were like, through and through, they're nice to hear. But some of them did fall a little, like, they were just like, the hooks I didn't really vibe with as much, and that just happened to be one of them.
Okay, so, any other ones that weren't hooky? Because I thought that one kind of was, but I mean...
it was okay. I thought that Empty Threat was kind of alright.
That was my least favorite.
Yeah, and I wasn't the biggest fan of Keep You On My Side. I like the groove in it. It was almost like kind of soft selly, but it was an interesting feel. But it didn't like capture me and make me pay its taxes. It just lacked that initiative, I suppose. Or some of your standout tracks?
Well, aside from Clearest Blue and Bury It, I really loved Never Ending Circles. What a great opening track. I love the sensitivity of Afterglow, and I thought the synths were particularly on that one so on point that it was fantastic. I mean, what an airy sort of sound for a closer.
Wow,
interesting structure of a song, but
It was an interesting song.
well executed.
Certainly. My standout tracks were the two singles that were released, which is Clearest Blue, and Never-Ending Circles. Also, I have to agree with you on Bury It. And additionally, I don't want to not mention Playing Dead, because Playing Dead's wonderful. The notes I wrote for Playing Dead is touch me sexually. And I sincerely mean that. God. Do you have anyone who you'd recommend this to?
Yes, I do. Do you like Taylor Swift? If you do, you need to listen to Chvrches.
Yeah, listen to Chvrches.
Because if you like the 1989 album and how that sounds, you should really make that transition to this particular album by Chvrches, because it sounds so similar to 1989. In parts. Might be a little more aggressive on the synth side if you're okay with that. But what she does and what she contributes is excellent, attitude-wise. So, it's right up there, I think.
The first thing I did when I heard the Taylor Swift album, not the first thing, I probably drank some Gatorade or something, I don't know. But one of the first things, within the day, maybe it wasn't within the day, it might have been the next day. How do I phrase this?
Feed goats.
Can you help me phrase this?
No.
Can't help me phrase
I don't know
this.
what you're trying to phrase.
Shortly after. How do I say that in English?
Shortly thereafter.
Shortly thereafter, I texted one of my friends who was a big Chvrches fan and said, "Hey, listen to Taylor Swift." And he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, kind of sounds like Chvrches." So I would agree with him on that one. Interesting.
Who would you recommend this to? Chris and Lee?
Yeah.
Okay.
They both like Chvrches.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright.
You want to play a game?
Nope. Yes. I lied on one of them.
Which one?
I'd like to play the game. What is it?
Alright. The game is, don't worry about it. I think that I would recommend it to fans of old school synth pop bands like Soft Cell or even like the Human League. I think if you're fans of those guys and you want some synth pop for the present day, and you're like, oh, this fucking, you want to listen to this? It's like, what is this EDM? What is this? Carlos Santana? Who is that?
Is this techno?
Is this techno? Is this J Electronica? I've never listened to him before. I don't really care for the hieroglyphics. I'm just kidding, I really like the hieroglyphics. You might want to listen to Chvrches.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the new album by Chvrches, and it's called Every Open Eye. Yeah. It's called One Eye Open, and I'm about to break.
It's called Third Eye. It's called probably.
It's called Third Eye Blind.
It's called Third Eye Blind. It's called.
This is Third Eye Blind.
Semi-Charmed Live.
Chvrches by Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind made an album called Chvrches. And they spelled it wrong, with a V and 3 lines for the E.
Wish you would step back from that church, my friend.
We could cut ties with all the lines
and eyes
that we've been living N. See the pun? N?
It's a D.
N.
D. It's a D.
That doesn't make any sense.
There's another one.
Where? N.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lowercase n.
Mm-hmm.
Lowercase n for the nice people.
Cool.
And nice. Take me to the ball game on D- chats.
And like, and comment, and subscribe to our channel for more videos.
Sup.